Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Nishmash Back in the summer, I sent you a video of my friend Mendy, who's battling ALS for 15 years. Today, unfortunately, he was nifter. When I came to the hospital in the morning, his wife had informed me not to worry because he already did the daf with the rebelli, and they sent me a picture of him doing the daf this morning with his eyes open, doing the daf. They asked me not. It says, his wife Malki asked me to share with you the picture from this morning. Please do not share this photo in big letters. He's being buried in Eretz Yisrael. See attached Kfura info, Jack Nussbaum. The Levi is in Eretz Yisrael, 6:30 today in Bet Shemesh. Dear Belly, may I make a suggestion? Perhaps once a week, could be more often. You leave the oilam with a question based on the week's dafin, and encourage them to send in their answers. The oilam has like a lot of stuff for me to do. I need like 50 hours a day. I like the suggestion. It's not a bad one. The best suggestion could get a shout out. The best suggestion could get a shout out and possibly a free pair of MDY socks. Just a thought. David Halter, Manchester. Rabbi said you could send in your divrei Torah for the Parshas of Shavuot because I'm still looking. I still need help. If somebody has a good one.
David's my cousin, so I stay with him.
David is your cousin. Not a bad thought.
He doesn't admit that he does that DUI, so it's good that you guys.
Why is he sending you a thing? He gives eights without even doing the daf. Okay, love it. Rabbi Sai, yesterday I decided finally, after a lot of persuasion, especially from a guy on this table, to go to Kesher Nafshi this Shabbos. It's going to be an amazing thing. This Chayesara up north, and Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson is coming, Rabbi Shimon Russell. It's an amazing Shabbos for anybody that has kids that are off the derech or heading that way. It's a whole new way of, or not a new way, but the right way to be mechanech children, to show them love and support, even though they might be in a different place than you are. So it's very, very highly recommended. I really wanted to go, but I was struggling with the shir, how to do the shir, and they were very, very accommodating. So Be'ezer Hashem, I'm going. My wife really wanted to go, and I think it's going to be a great time. So anybody wants to join us, they're not sold out yet, I don't think. Maybe they are, I don't know. I have no idea. They didn't even ask me to say this. I'm saying it because I think it's very, very helpful and it could help people. And there's a little bit of a stigma. Oh, I'm like this, and if I go, people will know. There's nothing to worry about. It's a great Shabbos. And what I spoke to at least, I want to say 7 or 8 people that went there and told me, people from the shir, people from out of the shir, said it changed their life. The whole Shabbos, it's a whole system of how to deal and how to just make things better in the house. The house becomes a normal house. There's no more depression, no more sadness. It's all taking in the right way and seeing tremendous results. There's somebody that sits on this table right here every single day, told me it changed his life, and he was the first one to introduce me to Rabbi Shimon Russell and the whole thing. So anyway, Be'ezer Hashem, I'm going. I hope I didn't make the decision too late. And Be'ezer Hashem, shiurim are going to be regular time. They put me in the schedule as they did their own thing. But shir is going to be 7:15 in the morning. I'm probably not going to be there Friday, even though it's a big program. Thursday, Friday is a whole thing. Friday, I'm still going to be in MDY. Motzi Shabbos, I'll be there regular time, like 2 hours after Shabbos. And Sunday morning, I'll also be there, 7:15 in the morning from there, from up north. All right. Was noch? I'm still saying out the names of the high donors, repeating them. We got some new ones also, Baruch Hashem, of the MDY monthly. There's going to be a gift for Chanukah, they say. By the way, we didn't forget about the Shnai Mikra V'Chatargum. I got the picture. There's a sefer, a chumash, Shnai Mikra V'Chatargum chumash, MDY version with the stamp, the whole thing that's going out to anybody that accepted upon himself Shnai Mikra. The gift for Chanukah, anybody that still signs up today, tomorrow, still could get, it's special MDY merch, one-time limited version for Chanukah, like the brachas of Chanukah in the shape of a dreidel made out of lucite, the whole thing. Chaim cement, $100. Menachem Shechter, $100. Barad Nakash, $200, plus $200,000 that he gave other times. David Hirsch, $100. Tobias Letterman, $100. Duvi Taub, 100. Barry Asman, 100. Mordechai Binder, 100. Yoel Wallendler, 200. Greg Haber, 100. Lawrence Pearl, 100. And our Sab, 100. Yeshkoyach Gadol. The Koilel is sponsored. Lili Nishmas Chaya Bas Yosef. The second Koilel for the month. May we always be able to support Torah, and may the Torah protect us from any harm. Mr. Anonymous gives a bracha to the Olam. Spend $10,000 to give that bracha. Shkoyach, Mr. Anonymous. The Masechta. Ein Zgula Katorah, Vein Tומכיה, כיעקב ויעל Lak. Parnas HaShavua, Shlomo Rubinstein, LeZaycher Nishmash, Mori, Boruch ben Leib. Parnas HaChodesh, Nishmash, Zchariah ben Moshe. Parnas HaChodesh, Jeff Razin, Zchus my son. Yosef Simcha Chaim ben Chana, Refuah Shlaima. Amen. Dr. Avrum Epstein, in memory of my dear departed loved ones, included in my recent yizkors. Shloimy Nussenzweig K72 in the Zchus of my son's Chasuna tonight, Mazel Tov, at Vilchovitz Hall in Monsey. I guess that's a new way to advertise the Chasuna. You want the whole world to come. Vilchovitz Hall. Rabbi said, go there, tell him Mazel Tov from MDY, Mazel Tov from me. Refuah Shlaima Menachem Mendel ben Gela. Alan and Shprintzy Gross, in memory of the yahrzeit of our grandmother, Yenta Bas Binyamin Alevi, Zchariah, a young almana with 3 children who struggled and opened up the first Shomer Shabbos store on 13th Avenue in Borough Park. Wow. Special parents Hayom, the Lak family. The Refuah Shlaima, I didn't say, listen what happened. I said Me'ira Basheva instead of Me'ira Bas Basheva. The surgery happens to be today, so we wish it's a young kid. Refuah Shlaima Me'ira Bas Basheva. Lineage was Menachem Mendel ben Yosef Yosef Olav Shalom, sponsored by the Rosenberg, Lang, and Cagan Families. Phil Byrne, in honor of the yahrzeit of Mary Byrne, Miriam Bat Yosef. Rabbi Yisai, here we go. Brand new perek. Easier sugyas. Especially tomorrow, one of the easiest dafim shas. Leilu, this official mishnah. Leilu Nishmash, Tzipora Fego Bas Reb to Tuvia Zechariah Lerocha. 3 lines from the bottom of Amud Beis. The mishnah is going to describe and not really explain much, but that the different mishnayos going on all the way to Chav Zayin or so are going to explain the words coming up. We're going to explain one of them, but basically these are terms of a neder that in your heart you think something completely different. You say one thing, you mean something completely different. But that's the derech of people to speak us like this. Arba nedarim hetiru chachamim. There are 4 nedarim that without atara. So we said there's something called atara that you go to chacham and he has 2 options. Either you could do charata. Charata means I regret today what I did yesterday. I'm standing here today. I'm calm. I'm collected. And I have charata. I regret how I acted yesterday when I was under duress. I was upset yesterday. I was really angry yesterday. So today, I'm regretting what I did yesterday. I'm not regretting today. I'm regretting today what I did yesterday. It's easy to do. And there's a step that's more difficult to do called the Pesach, and that's you're looking at yesterday. You're looking not at today. You're looking at yesterday. Had you known a piece of information yesterday when you did the neder, would you have done that neder? Like he said, Kalba Savua. Had he known that his son-in-law would turn out Rebbe Kiva yesterday, 25 years ago, I don't know how many years later it was. Many years, right? 24, it was exactly 24 that day, okay. So 24 years ago, had I known then, so the Pesach is really going all the way to the time of the neder, whereas Charata, you're doing the regret today, because I'm collected today and I have das today. Yesterday, I was bekas. So they said, you don't even need these 2 things. You don't need a Pesach. You don't need a Charata. It's null and void. Never happened, this neder. What are they? Nidrei ziruzin. To be mizarez. To motivate somebody. So the Mishnah is going to describe it in a second. Basically, when you negotiate. Now, it doesn't happen so much in the United States and in England, but it happens a lot, maybe in Israel, in Arab countries a lot. In China, I thought there is negotiation, right, Gary? China? Hello, Gary?
China.
Do they negotiate in China?
Yeah, of course.
This is negotiating. Somebody told me not, but I know that's what I thought that there is. Vidaf can tell you a high price, and then you chop them down. In the diamond district of Vada, there's negotiation. That's the whole. You start high, you go low. So the kids you make Nedarim to push the guy in the right direction. I'm not going. I swear I'm not going. I make a neder. I'm not going lower than 100, and then Lamaisi you go lower. But it's a haggle. But it's a known what? It's a known tactic.
Duty-free store in Africa when we were there, he said no negotiating.
Really? You should have taken a picture. No, it says in the store, no negotiation. In the duty-free store, no negotiation. It'll be funny to go over and start haggling. Look at the side. Nidre zeruzim. V'nidre havai. So we're not going to go into these things because the Mishnayos are going to discuss it later. Havai, you stop exaggerating. V'nidre shgaga, you did by mistake. V'nidre einzim, you were forced. Nidre zeruzim ketzat. What's the case? Hayamoichar chayfetz. You're selling an item. V'omar koinom sha'ani, she'eni, it says she'eni, but it says in the gears on the side, sha'ani, poiches l'chom en asela. I'm not going to go down less than 4 dinner. So first of all, if we want to familiarize ourselves, or at least myself, I'd like to remember this. 1 sela equals 4 dinner. So he says, I'm not going down less than a sela, which is 4. I'm not paying you more than 1. So quite a difference here. He's willing to pay 1. He's not willing to sell it for less than 4. Okay, but it's 1 and 4. Shekel is 2. You're right. 100% right. Shekel is 2 dinner. Thank you. It doesn't say in the Mishnah's dinner. It says shekel. Okay, so it's not 50% more, double, 100%. He says I'm selling it for 2. I'm not going to buy for more than 2. I'm only selling it for 4. So I just did a little chart here because it's going to be one of my last charts. Be'ez Hashem, Yoshi's coming on board full time next week. So it'll be a lot nicer than this. But basically, you got Yossi Klein on the right. He's selling that donkey. Binyamin Schwartz is the buyer, and he has money in his hand. This guy has a donkey in his hand, and he has money in his hand. So the Ran explains, I just did it to show what the Ran is saying. What is he making a neder on exactly? What? On the ear? No. Says the Ran, he's making a neder. I'm making a neder that I'm not selling it to you less than 4. And if I do sell it less than 4, I'm making a neder with the red arrow. I'm making a neder on your money. That's the neder. It's on something. It's on a loaf of bread. It's I'm not going to sleep. I'm not touching your money. If you're going to try to give me less than 4 dinner, less than a sela, I'm not touching it. The other guy says, Binyamin, the dentist says, I'm making a neder on your donkey. I'm not touching your donkey if I pay more than 2. What ended up happening? They settled on 3. That's normal. They settled on 3. So because that's how people talk, it's not a joke. The whole haggling is a joke. He swears this, he does that. He walks away. You're supposed to walk away in the middle, and then the guy comes running after you, and then sometimes he doesn't, and he kits her like that knife in Africa. I'm a terrible haggler. I haggled. I walked away from the guy. The guy said, bye-bye. Then I come running back. Please sell it to me. Remember that one? Anyway, so the bottom line is that the koinam, the neder, is on somebody else's object. He's saying, I'm making a neder. I'm vowing that if I give you my donkey for 1 dime less than 4, I'm not touching your money. And he says that if I up my price more than 2, you see he has 2 in his hand. If I give you 3, I'm not going to touch the donkey. He has a major problem. He can't use his money and he can't use the donkey. The answer is no, it's not a problem. You don't even need a heter for this. It's shtusim. What he's saying is shtusim. So I'm not going to sell to you for less than 4. And the dentist says, I'm not going to give you more than 2. This is the norm of, this is mamish, the minhag ha'makayim is to lie and to make nedarim and to show that you're serious about your haggling, but it's all a big joke. So, a number of things here. First of all, the Ran says that even though this is not a neder, big chiddush, says the Ran, you're still over on this pasuk right over here, the famous pasuk, Ishki the neder Hashem, Yishav Shvol Yisrael Nafshi, Loi Yachal Devaroi Midrabanan. Interesting. It's not a real pasuk. It's a pasuk with an asmachta. It only has the power of a derabanan. He's saying, nevertheless, don't just say things that you don't mean. It doesn't give you a heter now to haggle and to add nedarim to your haggling because you're over on a derabanan layachal devara. It's an asmachta. It's a derabanan to stop throw out words for no reason. A few interesting halachas in the Ran. That's why the Ran is very different than Rashi. He gives you all these halachas and halacha l'maisa. So let's just say it out quickly. If one guy, I think everybody knows this halacha, but it's good for chazara. It's on a practical level. So a guy is selling a donkey, and he says in one sentence, he says, I swear that I'm not going to take from you 2, whatever it is, and I'm not going to take from you 3. But he was serious to one and not serious to the other. He really meant it because the halacha is, the Ran says, if they both admit that they were serious, both of them come up and they say, we weren't haggling, we were serious, I really made a neder. Okay, so it's a neder. Then you have to go to a chacham. But what if he says, I was serious, the seller of the donkey says I was serious to him, but not to him in one sentence. So the Ran says, the obvious. If you're going to be mevatel neder a little bit, so you mevatel the whole thing. You can't have a half a neder. It can't be chal for one person, not for the other person. Okay? And then he says a very, very interesting halacha. He says, but they could do everything up to the number that they announced. In other words, the dentist could give 3, he could give 3.5, 3.9, but he cannot give 4. He cannot pay 4 because that's already that guy's neder. Then the neder will be chal. And the other guy can't take 2. He could take 2.5, 3, but he can't take 2 because once he takes 2, that's the dentist neder. Because you don't want the neder to be the number that they mentioned will become real if you take that amount of money. So you can only take another amount, not that amount. Okay. Says the Gemara, Arba Nedarim Yitiru Chachamim, Amalei Reb Abba Amalei Reb Ami, Amr Salam Mishmei Reb Yehuda Nesiya. You told us in the name of Reb Yehuda Nesiya, not Reb Yehuda Nasi. Man Tana Arba Nedarim, Reb Yehudi. So here's the story. Here you look at the cartoon; it's hard to see. I'll read it out for you. The guy in the blue says, "Zeh Shmaya ani omer lecha." So the guy, you see a guy walking, oh, thank you. Guy walking from a distance, he says, his name is Shmaya. So he says, Zelo Shmaya. In the Shmaya, ani nazir. If that's Shmaya, I'll become a nazir. And then the guy closes his eyes, Shmaya, makareh. He's like, what's happening? And then you see in the third picture, he already has a long beard and long hair. Okay, that's the story that we're about to say. That what? Huh? Yeah, okay. If only you wouldn't be you, I wouldn't have my long beard and my long hair. Great. So the point is that they see a guy. This is the story, the whole story in a cartoon. They see a guy from a distance. And they both argue with each other who the guy is. And one of them is so adamant that it's his friend, Shmai. He makes a neder. He makes a neder, it's not him. The other guy makes a neder, it is him. So here we spoke about this story, a similar story. And then the guy shows up, it's really him. So says Rabbi Tarfon, then that's not a neder. Because you need hafla. You need to be clear when you make your neder. And if you're not clear when you make a neder, it's not a neder. But basically what he's saying is, you can never, according to Rabbi Tarfon, very interesting, everything we know about nedarim doesn't exist. You can't make a neder al tanai. You can't say if this and this thing happens, then I'll become a nazir. It doesn't work. No, but both. Because neder, very good, thanks for bringing it up. He's talking about nazirus, and we're talking about nedarim. They're both the same. That we learned in the beginning of Sefta. Neder, gzeir shava. Whatever we have by a nazir, we have by a neder. By us also, a t'nai wouldn't work. So he says, by us, he makes a t'nai. If I sell this to you for less money, I won't touch your money. So that's a t'nai. If this and this happens, then I won't touch your money. Okay, that's in 5 minutes from now. When I sell it to you, when I get to the haggling point, and you knock me down in the price, and I agree to sell it for 3 instead of 4, then all the money in your hand becomes asur to me. Rabbi Tarvin says that doesn't work. It has to be something clear right now when I make the neder. Not tonight. The fee shaloi nidnu nazirus elo laflo. So the Ran asks a beautiful kasha. Then why does the Mishnah say that they ended up selling it for 3? Even if he ended up selling it for the exact price that he wanted, it's not a neder. The seller says he wants 4. He's not going to go a dime less than 4. The buyer says he's not going to go up a dime more than 2. So the buyer ended up paying 4. His neder, he messed up, but the seller didn't mess up. But at the end of the day, why do I have to say that they both messed up? If one of them messed up, that's enough. It's not a neder. You know why it's not a neder? Because he didn't know what's going to happen, and at the end, something different happened. It's not a neder. So the Ran says a beautiful thing, that there's a big chiddush here. That with the cartoon, one of them is 100% wrong. It could either be Shmaya or Aftalion. It can't be both. It's one or the other. So one of them is 100% wrong. One of them might be 100% right. I don't know. But one of them is 100% wrong. So since one of them is 100% wrong and his neder is batal, so then the whole thing is batal. Both of the nedarim are batal. They're both saying it together. They're both talking. So if one is batal, the other is batal. But in our case, says the Ran, that's why we went to 3. We're saying that there's a way to make that both nedarim are kayim. They both messed up. He went lower than he wanted, and he went higher than he wanted. Both nedarim are kayim. Aval pikein, the chiddush in the Mishnah is no neder. That's the chiddush. That's why the Mishnah says 3 and not even 4. It could be 4. But the Mishnah is telling us a bigger chiddush. Okay. By the way, Stam, Derech Agav, very interesting. If you look, in the Rambam, Hilchas Nedarim is under, does anybody know where Hilchas Nedarim is found in the Rambam? Very good. Zok Rabbi Dambi, in Hilchas Hafla, in Sefer Hafla. Hilchas Nedarim, Shavuos, all those things, in Sefer Hafla. It's called Hafla. Which means...
Tonight makes it that the neder doesn't work, right? Because that's what you just said. So why does it make a difference if one of them was serious in negotiation and meant that they made? It's still made that on tonight.
Right. Oh, you're saying just in general, the whole... according to Reb Tarfon, that a tonight doesn't work. So you're saying, why do they have to be serious and not serious? Just any neder that's a t'nai, in a chanami, any neder that's a t'nai shouldn't work. Yeah. That's what? Yeah, but how do you answer? How you answering this question?
You can't make it tonight without it.
Yeah, but the Gemara is now saying, the Gemara is saying that the whole Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda according to Rabbi Tarfon. You really the Amar Rabbi Tarfon. Right? No, so no, sorry, you're right. We have to read the Mishnah differently. The Mishnah is not about being serious and about being serious, and we're going to see that in a second here. That's what Rava points out. That's exactly it. Our Mishnah that you don't need a Taras Chachamim, you don't need a Hatar V'Mechachim is because the whole T'nai didn't, because it's a T'nai, the whole Neder doesn't exist. But not because it's serious and not serious. Says the Gemara, Rava Omar, Afilu Temer Rabbanon. I don't like the fact you're going with that Shita, Yachid. Let's go with Rabbanon. Mikatani Shneim Ratzu. If it would say that they ended up with something else, at the end they were agreeable to 3, so it makes sense. You're going like with Reb Tarfon. It has nothing to do with them being serious and not serious. They were serious. At the end, they were agreeable to a certain price. From beginning to end, they never had intent. They weren't being serious. You see, that's the point. You see from the Mishnah that it's about being serious and not being serious. That's exactly the point. You see that Reb Tarfon doesn't fit into our Mishnah. Because if he does fit into the Mishnah, then the Mishnah shouldn't say a situation roitzin, that from beginning to end, they in their mind, they were bluffing. They never had any intent. That's not the point according to Reb Tarfon. It's not about what they had in mind, didn't have in mind. The fact that they attached a condition to the neder, that makes the neder void. But that's not what it says in the Mishnah. It should have said, Rotzu. It doesn't say that. Roitzim Katani. Omar le Ravina le Ravashi. Fine. So Mela, the Mishnah is not Reb Tarfon. It says Rava, the Mishnah is Rabbanon, and it has to do with the seriousness or not. Omar le Ravina le Ravashi. Omar le, it's famous Sela, Ba'alei Omar Batim Shekel. So, 2 pshatim in the round. Let's go. I think this one is a little easier. Right? And I said already, there's a company, I believe, that every time I get a memorandum, whatever it is, whatever it's called, a little booklet about a certain property. So it says, electric, $70,000. Taxes, $150,000. This, it's always a round number. And years ago, I asked the question, how is it possible that on a property, it's exactly $70,000 for electric, not $71,956? So he said, no, we just guesstimate. Okay, shkoyach. When you have an exact number, it seems a lot, it's real. So that's $70,192.32. Oh, he got it right off of the electric bill. That's what it is. So ask the Gemara, what happens if the guy does that? He says, I'm not selling it for less than 4 shekel and 22 agurot. Now the guy's serious. He's not just throwing a number. He has a real number in mind. A guy that sells cars said that, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what he claimed. He said that they always add, they do 40,657 because they have there's a shita, like a psychology that people are going to try to take off the 657. They forget about the 40. That they're already give in to the 40,000. That's Mendy. I don't know if it works in big numbers. You say 40,657. The guy goes, come on, let's round it out. Let's round it up to 40. The guy goes, okay, fine, I'll round it. But it's populated automatically by the computer, the 657, so that somebody has something to negotiate about. Fine. But when you add that exact number, you say 4 shekel, a sela, not just a sela, but a sela and a bit. Now you're serious. Now you're not messing around. You're not bluffing, perhaps. Is he trying to motivate the other guy, or he's being very, very serious? Tanina, we have a riot. It says in the Brisa, a guy says, come on, you'd never eat by me, come for a meal for Shabbos, come on, you're here, you're only here for one day in Eretz Yisrael, you better come to me. The guy was so fed up with him, he says, I swear, or I make a neder, I'm never coming into your house. Yeah, the famous Maisa with the Shviger. Shviger knocks on the door, the son-in-law like, huh? So she sees the pachad in his eyes. She goes, what's the matter? Like, you tell me when to leave, I'll leave. He says, what, you're not even going to stay for a cup of water? Yeah, so that's what happened over here. He said, nobody's laughing at my jokes anymore. There's all the Altam jokes. You know, when it's dead like this, a bunch of English people here. I just came back from London, just came back from Manchester. So, by the way, seriously, a lot of people wrote to me, those English people, they weren't laughing at your jokes. It's not true. The mic didn't pick it up. I'm not joking. They were laughing at everything much more than you guys. They have a real sense of humor, those guys. Okay. Huh? At least you're masking that some of this is funny. Okay. Guy says, I'm making a neder. I won't even drink a drop of water, not even a plastic cup of water. Says the Gemara, mutar likonas lebeisai. The halacha is, you hear this? What he said is shtuyot. He's allowed to go into his house, and drink a cold cup of water. What he meant is to sit down and have a real suda on Shabbos, a real thing. Oh, so Memela, you see that even a small thing, a person, even when he says a small thing, like a little cup of water, no, even that he wasn't being serious about the whole idea. So Memela over here, just because he added a couple cents to the 4 shekel, doesn't do anything. This is common language, this is how people speak, it's a normal thing for people to talk. This is how people speak. There's a concept, Rabbi says, a concept in halacha. This is how people speak. For instance, in the Sefer, Torah L'Shma. Torah L'Shma is a very interesting Sefer because the Ben Ish Chai says that he found a Sefer and he just copied it down and he wrote it. And a lot of people say it's not true. The Ben Ish Chai himself wrote it. And for whatever reason, he didn't want to put his name there. Fine. But it says in Torah L'Shma, let's say it's the Ben Ish Chai. It says, Maisa Shahaya, he says it different on the tzitzis, but you could say it also. A kid is riding a bike, and he's without his yarmulke. It happens. So the father catches him. So the kid says, I'm making a shvuah. I swear I'll never take off my yarmulke. Never take off my yarmulke. So now he comes to the Ben Ish Chai, and he tells the Ben Ish Chai, but could I go into the mikvah? Or when I go into the mikvah, I have to take my yarmulke off, or I don't take my... He swore he's never taking off his yarmulke. Now what do you do? So then you have this concept. He brings this Gemara. There's a way that people talk. I'll never take off my yarmulke. Never. Never doesn't mean 100%. Never means when normal people don't take off the yarmulke. I'll keep it on when I ride my bike. I'll keep it on, whatever. But when I'm in the shower, of course I'm going to take it off. It's hachinami mishtay inish. This is how people talk. Amar lei Daf Chof Aleph Amud Beis. By the way, 20 daf into Nedarim. What's the connection? Tzaddik noimer mat voisim harbe. There's an idea that tzaddikim they say very little and they do a lot. It's interesting. In Bava Metzia it says that it just continues. And Rishonim they say a lot and even a little they don't do. But I thought to me it was fascinating. I chap this morning that we're on Tuesday. You can still do Shnai Mikra of Parshas Vayera. What does it say in Parshas Vayera? So I'm saying we're a little bit in Vayera, a little bit in Chayesara. You could for sure do Chayesara, but you could also do Vayera. In Vayera, you have the ultimate of this Tzadikim Oimrim Mat Voisim Harbe, which is Rabbi Sainu. Anybody?
Avrum Epstein saying to the Malachim, I'm going to give you a little bit of water.
Very good. Ve'ekcha pas lechem. Just come, I'll give you a little piece of bread. What did he do? We don't even know about these things. To shech 3 animals and give them 3 tongues is a lot different than giving a little piece of bread. So he's a tzaddik goy saharba. In this week's parasha, Ephron, very good. Ephron, come, take it for free, no problem, a Russia. And at the end he takes Abraham shekel kesef, which is, I forgot, it's like a sugar amount of money. More than all the money in Kenya. Or something, I don't know. LeZaycher, very good. So think very bad. Says the Gemara, sponsor as a Zchus to continue being able to support Torah and to finish shots with the belly. The first time of Boruch ben Sarah, Ito Yudis Bas Minel, Latzlachas ben Yomin ben Ito Yudis. So the Gemara Chesfeiko, Dilma Paklim Sela v'Yosef Shekel Kamar v'Zeruzin Ave, or Dilma Davke Kamar v'Nidra Ave. We don't know. We still don't understand what his true kavanah was. Was he being serious, or was he trying to be mizares? Tibai teiku. We don't have an answer. Omer Rav Yudah, Omer Rav Asi. I'm pointing out over here, his name is Rav Asi. Rav Asi means he's an Amoira. What does Rav Asi say? These 4 Nedarim that we say in the Mishnah, it doesn't mean that they're mutter straight out and you can just continue on with your business. You have to go to a rabbi. It's mutter. It says mutter means nothing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to take any action. Why in the world do you say they have to take action? Rav Yosef Rav Yosef has it a little differently. In the name of Rav Asi, it's not what he said. It didn't say that in our Mishnah, these 4 types of Nedarim, let's say a guy was Mizaris, like by us, he was haggling. Not that if you're haggling, you have to go to the rabbi. But if you go to the rabbi, stop. Your wife, she made a nether, she's not going to eat chocolate. So you go to the rabbi has to see if it's similar to these 4 Nedarim. Is there some shtus in what she said? Was she exaggerating? Was she haggling? If you have one of these aspects, one of these things, then it's a good hatara. Then it's a good Pesach. You should make sure that when you're doing a Pesach, you're a Rav, you're like these 4 Nedarim. Why? Because Savar ein poischem b'charata. Charata. Yeah? Charata means that today, you're standing today and you regret what you did yesterday. You said, yesterday I had kas. Today I don't have kas anymore. No, you can't do that. You have to do a real Pesach. You have to come up with, had you known a certain piece of information yesterday, you wouldn't have taken action. You wouldn't have done that nether. Says the Gemara. I would also come with the Rav Huna. A guy comes to Rav Huna. So now we have a bunch of these stories of Charata, Pesach. Doesn't come with the Rav Huna. Omalei, Liba Chalach. He asks him. He comes. He says, "I made a nether. I need out. What should I do?" So he says, "Was your mind there? Were all your marbles with you?" He says, "Omalei loy. No, I was tzefayfed. I was in a crazy mood." That's Charata. Charata. I'm standing here today. I'm looking at what happened yesterday. It's like, I regret how I acted yesterday. V'sharye. He says, Charata is enough. A second ago, he said, you need a Pesach. Charata is not enough. No, Charata is enough. I would also come the rabbi, Baravuna, Omer Ilu, Hoyu Asor b'nei Adam Shifai Sucha. Ba'isa Shah, Minodart. Minodarta. If you had 10 people, your mother was there, and she was calming you down, and everybody was there, and your Rebbe, chill out, because Boruch was doing it for a reason, don't be so upset, it's all good. Would you do it? No. It's actually, they say it's an eitzah. If a person wants to do an Aveira, he should imagine himself certain people in his life, his 10 people that he has. His mother, his father staring at him, his Rebbe looking at him. Certainly, maybe he'll give him a chizik. He won't do the Aveira. I don't know. They say Reb Noach Weinberg used to have I think it's based on a song or something. I don't know what it is. Like in New York, the slogan of the radio over there is, "Give us 22 minutes and we'll give you the world." So Reb Noach Weinberg used to say, "Give me 10 men and I'll give you the world," or something like that. Mashruka, huh? No, that's 10 tens wins. 22 minutes, I'll give you the world. What? Give me 10 men and I'll change the world. Give me 10 men and I'll change the world. I don't know exactly the pshat, but that's what he used to say. So give me 10 men. If you had 10 men over there and they would calm you down, would you make the nether? Amalei loy, I wouldn't make the nether. V'tiroi, and the story, they will matter. Tanya Rabbi Yehuda Omer leila Adam, Leib zel lecha. You have the same heart, the same emotions as you had yesterday. Imam Lav, no, yesterday I was a wreck, I was nuts. That's why I made the nether. So, okay. So today you're having charata, you regret, you're out of it. Rishma Rabbi Yossi, Omer Mishumav, he said the name of Rabbi Yossi. Omer leila Adam, Ilu hoya asar b'nei Adam, shepesucha, ba'isa shah, minodarta, if you had 10 men, would you do it? And they would calm you down. Imam Lav, matir noisa. Simin asi velozi yochim v'yanai. How does the Kamei, the Rebbe Asi? You see what's going on here? That's what I pointed out before. Before we had an Amoira called Rav Asi, and he said that even the Nedarim in our Mishnah, you have to go to the Rav. Over here we have Rebbe Asi Atana, Omalei, kaduto eis. Do you have charata? Amalei loy. What's going on here? Oh, so you have to stick in what?
This wasn't Rabbi Yassi, the Talmud of Rabbi Yochanan?
I don't know. It's somebody different.
And Mori in Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
Rabbi.
Okay, but how do you know? How do you know? I don't know what it is. You know, Rabbi Yochanan had a Talmud called Rabbi Yassi?
Rabbi Yami and Rabbi Yassi.
I hear from Tveria, yeah, I hear. Okay, that's where I'm going Shabbos, Tveria. You mean it's that Rabbi Yassi? I hear, yeah, it could be probably right. Correct. Okay, but it's somebody else. It's not Rav Asi, l'chayra. Unless they used it in Bavel, they called Rabbi Asi Rav Asi. I doubt it. Okay, but you see over here that it's somebody else because he says a different shita. You have to put in niggin over here. Loy. What? Not? I shouldn't have charata. V'sharye. How does it come in there? LeZaycher. Omelei Beis Nader. What? Omelei Kadu Tois. You have charata? Loy. What? I shouldn't have charata. Of course I have charata. V'sharye. How does it come in there? LeZaycher. Omelei Beis Nader. Omelei Ilu loy magazin li loy beinon klum. There's a famous line in Eretz Yisrael, like this real Israeli guy goes, "I'm not upset. This is just upsetting me," that kind of thing. Yeah. So ilu loy magazin li. If they didn't get me upset, I wouldn't have made a neder. Amalei tehei kivos. It should be like you want. In other words, I'm after your neder. I eat so. Da dart librato. She made a neder that she's not going to have anything to do with her daughter. Asay the made Rabbi Yochanan. Amalo ilu havas ilahava yudas the amran bigirosach. Your neighbor says the rat. Allah the vartach. If you knew what your neighbors would say about your daughter, then what? Ilu chamayis laba. Ima chamia v'chamia. You know we say in I think it's the same lashon in what do you call it? Not a Taras Nedarim, in Chometz. Bir Chometz. If I see it, if her mother didn't see in her daughter Milan da Aziva things that she said that she deserves this cherem. Why would a mother put her daughter in a nether and I have nothing to do with you? Obviously the mother knew that she's a terrible person. I would never make such a neder, v'sharya, and based on that, they made a Torah. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day.